Online with me now, I have the great Rasta Igel, a brethren from a long time, I tell you. We met in Atlanta years ago, and Igel is a man who I respect, a musician, a real Rasta man, and a real brethren. Igel, welcome to True Vibes Radio.
Blessed love, peace and work. Blessed love to radio land. This is Igel coming to you live from out of Buzzard, Jamaica, you know what I mean?
I tell you, where are you? Above rocks?
No, right now I'm there, Negril.
Negril, my favorite. Hey, listen, man, that is my favorite spot in Jamaica, you know, boss.
Yeah, this is where everything resets.
I tell you,
the last part of Jamaica.
I tell you, man.
Yeah.
That's when I'm in Jamaica. I mean, I was born in Kingston, off Malines Road, UNN Avenue. But whenever I'm in Jamaica, my favorite place to be is Negril. But Rasta Igel, it's good to have you on True Vibes Radio. Catching up with you, what has been happening with Rasta Igel and his music? First, let me allow you to introduce yourself to my listeners. Who is Rasta Igel? Go ahead.
Well, this is Rasta Igel, born Tyrone Richardson of Kenneth George Richardson and Paulette Leone Price. Rasta Igel grew up in a little parish called Westmoreland, aka Westmoreland. And music has been my honor and pleasure to do since I was a kid and a child, you know. I've realized and discovered the power of music. So I just harness the power there from my youth I grew up until now when I let it go, you know what I mean?
I hear you, I
try to keep it positive.
At what age, if you remember, can you remember the exact age you came under the inspiration that you need to be?
My brother found a little cassette with me didn't make one time. And I was 6 years old with that cassette.
Yeah, 6 years old.
Yeah, I was born in 1977. So if I was 6 years old when my brother discovered a cassette of me singing a song, I don't even remember what I was singing, but I remember them mock me face to quite sometimes.
Well, you see it, I mean, from a child, you were given the gift, and therefore, as you said earlier on, you want to use it in a positive way to uplift.
Yeah.
But what about Rastafari? Your name is, they call you Rasta Igel, so obviously you embrace Rasta. Tell me about that. When did that come along?
That was later on in my life. I was about 14 years old. Because I always grew up around Rasta, you know.
Yeah.
Family. Like one of my uncles, my mother, brother was my uncle. He's a Rasta man, and I grew up around him. Grew up around other Rasta in the community. So we was around the liberty from day one. But identifying it within myself now, I was a young teenager, adolescent, 13, 14 years old.
Very tender age.
Sitting around there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
No, a very tender age to come to this consciousness, but you go ahead.
Yeah, because, you know, we had no choice, you know, the pressures of the system, you know, you have to become conscious.
I hear you.
At some point in time, because reality hits you at some point, some kind of experience when bring it to reality. And I was trying to identify myself with some sector or someone within my community or within the circle at which I was brought up. And the Rasta man was the only man who could identify myself with, because he never come with no injustice or no partiality.
I hear you.
Nobody else did have some kind of partiality towards them. And I say, okay, one day when the oppressed become the oppressor, somebody going to still be oppressed.
I hear you.
Rasta was the only man who speak justice here. So I identify myself as a Rasta one from a early age, you know.
I hear you. No, looking back from the age of 14.
No, from the age 14-year-old. I'm a start grow my covenant now. So it wasn't a here or a lax thing to me.
I hear you. Talk to me about that.
With it within myself.
So
it wasn't a lax thing to me.
Oh, it was just a liberty.
Because that is all I saw, was a liberty amongst these people who had the dreaded hair. You know what I mean? The hair was the appearance to come later on to me, you know, when I say, yeah, I really want society. Sister me, the Rasta man now.
Okay.
So when I was 16, 17 years old coming to the United States, and I said, hey,
Yeah.
They are Jamaica no more, you know.
Uh-huh.
Rasta can't go to school, but they are America now, I see man relax, man, I go to space, I go and go by cover that down. From the time I set my foot on the side of America, my ear just start lock up.
Yes.
I will never take it out.
I hear you. So from the around the age of 16, you started growing the covenant.
93, 94.
Never put a scissors to it since then.
Not a form to it since then.
Rastafari.
Today.
I hear you. So a man who has been living the liberty for years. I mean, over the years, what has it been like though, being a Rasta man overall?
From what perspective? Because a lot of oppression, I'm not going to make it look like it was all oppression. It was a lot of goodness and greatness too with it and great experiences. Because I didn't just experience people who didn't appreciate Rasta. I also experienced people who also appreciated Rasta.
I hear you.
So we embrace both experiences, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Either you pay to learn or you feel pain to learn.
I hear you.
Learn both ways.
I hear you. I appreciate that answer. I mean, you have the negative and you have the positive, which is life, you know. But and you embrace both. That is what I like about you.
We embrace both because that is what brings this total package today where I talk to you on the areas and the medium or the radio where the world can listen.
So every experience. So what I'm hearing from you,
to this totality.
What I'm hearing from you, Rasta Igel, is that every experience worketh together for good if you know how to look at it, if you know how to appreciate each experience and learn from each experience, the negative and the positive. Yeah. I mean, we don't only learn from the negative, you know, we also learn from the positive. Go ahead, Ras.
Yeah, man, because we have to harness both energy together because life is a balance. You understand what I say? Because if alright, in this medium of music, I find myself around some people where when you consider bad people, and I still have to work with them.
Okay.
You understand what I say?
Yes.
I still had to work with them because there was a medium where we could meet on this mutual platform and set aside our differences and our indifferences and play music.
Okay.
So my liberty as a Rasta man and the music that I do go hand in hand. It break barriers and it break down boundaries because the Muslim might be a bassman, the Christian might be a keyboardist. You understand me? I say, and the three backup singers may have a mic some for gospel singer, but them just love the roots at reggae. And if them I bring the sound of them, they go work with.
So you say
them bass upon.
So the Rasta man is able to blend and work with everyone.
Yeah, because he's a human being, you know.
Regardless of his background, no judgment.
Watch here now, the Rasta say life. That is all what the Rasta say at the end of the day, you know. All the philosophy we preach through the music, this medium called music. Him still say life and love and more life and more love. So he have to reflect that within him living. When I go out there, I have to reflect that within how I move amongst the people and the people who appreciate the music and come out to the shows and tune into your radio station. Look how much stations them tune into them decide to listen to True Vibes Radio.
I tell you, I really appreciate my listeners and I want to take the time again to say thank you. We have people listening from Belgium, from France, from Africa, from Europe, Australia, I mean right here in the USA, Jamaica, Trinidad. I tell you, Antigua. Listen, I really appreciate the listeners for tuning in. It must be a connection that we feel and I welcome my listeners to my place. Cock up your foot, as we would say in Jamaica. Put your feet up and relax and enjoy this conversation I'm having with Rasta Igel right now. Rasta Igel, let's segue into the music. You started Rastafari at 14, started growing the Covenant at 16, started the music from 6. The gift of the music was recognized. It was probably even from before that, maybe in the womb.
Yeah.
But when did you decide now that you were going to be a recording artist?
Oh, to take it professional now.
Yes.
Alright. This is where my daddy come into the picture. My father, Kenneth George Richardson. Father Richard, big up yourself anywhere you're in the world right now. I never grew up with him. But he's the one who created the opportunity for me to get to the United States.
Okay.
So when I just got to the United States, I was around my father.
Mm-hmm.
My father is a welder by trade. My father is a big lover of music. My daddy had a sound system in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I say?
Mm-hmm.
So having the sound system in the basement allowed me to hone my craft and take my craft to a next level because sometimes I come in from the school and not even work me to do, you know. I start me right away and I run rhythm back and a DJ. And I wonder how I turn on the sound because I watch everything when I do. I'm a learn. I'm a develop my sound and develop my craft.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? My dad also opened a record shop, so I had access to music that was coming out right there and then in that time, the early mid-90s to the late 90s, plus music that was coming out before then. And my father was a big, serious man and quality. You can't drive him sound and him sound no sound good. Big up Soul Imperial from Cockburn and Bamboland.
Soul Imperial, is that song still around or that was back in the day?
Yeah, man.
Still around?
Talk about the originals. Yes, man, that is still have him sound in an basement in Arlington, Pennsylvania, man.
Wow. Igel, I tell you, as we talk about his musical journey, you said that your father was a great influence. Continue telling me about that. I mean, we know about the sound system. What's the name of the sound system? Imperial?
Soul Imperial.
Soul Imperial. And I was asking you, the original bass is in, was it originated in Jamaica, right?
Yeah, in Cockburn Pen, Bamboland.
Cockburn Pen, and the sound migrated to the US of A, am I right?
Yes, man.
And it is now locked away in a basement, still intact.
Yes, man.
Ready to go. But, yeah, so that was your father. But go ahead and tell me about the musical journey.
Yeah, so by being out there at a young age, 17, 18 years old, I was still in high school. But, you know, would I follow around every club that they would say I would go there and began to see that this was very serious. Music was actually a profession and I could make a living out of music.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that I loved so much that I started taking it serious again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved to Atlanta in 1996, the year of the Olympics, the great centennial bombing. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when I really started taking music serious and took it on a professional level. I started performing on the big stage and opening up for different reggae acts and different artists coming out from Jamaica. Understand?
So you were actually at the bombing. You mentioned the Centennial bombing. You were actually...
Yeah, man, we were at Centennial Park, man. We was at Centennial Park when the bombing went on.
My word.
The Olympics, right there, 1996 Olympics, that when a whole lot of people was migrating to Atlanta.
Yes, I remember the time.
I mean, I moved there. Yeah, I moved to Atlanta and I was like, wow, I see a lot of people looking like me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to live here. I love here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So,
and that was when you started.
Taking it serious now because we moved to a place now where no one don't know me. So we're going to establish ourselves to the people. So what I allow them to see is what they're going to really gravitate towards. So I let them see the artist side of music Igel.
So tell me about some of the experiences now. After taking it serious, what kind of stage you performed on, what kind of studio you worked in, what kind of you work with any name brand artists? Tell me about it.
Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna start from Natty Lovejoy.
Mm-hmm.
This was a wife and husband duo from out of England.
Mm-hmm.
They're Jamaican but English based.
Yeah.
Jati and Marla.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing shows with them, Jati looked at me as a foundation bass player and said, you have a sound, and you have a very spiritual sound, and you have an unusual sound.
Mm-hmm.
He told me these three things, and I took them to my bosom and cling to it and develop on that.
Right.
Now, I started doing the big stage now, the atrium. You name all of the club them where they go on at the time. The club flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Where else again?
All the
trendsetters.
Yeah.
The venue. Where else again? Club Hollywood. Where else again?
All the name brand clubs in Atlanta and Georgia.
Royal Peacock.
Yeah.
Some club where
Vibe.
Caribbean people never even welcome in.
Footprints.
We
Vibe.
crack the eyes.
Yeah.
We did it. We was there. Yeah. At a young age too.
Performing live on stage. You play instrument too though?
Yeah, I play acoustic guitar. Throughout the years I've grown closer and closer to that instrument to a point where now I can actually play it real well.
So when you play, you when you sing, you play. You actually play and sing.
Yeah, I play and sing, not all the time. No, I'm glad you brought that up because this project that I'm working on coming out now, we have a mixtape coming out soon. You know what I mean? Called Ground Zero. So we start from square one, Ground Zero. So we also have an EP coming out and an album coming out too also. But the album, I'm going to give you a sneak preview. The album is going to lean towards the acoustic side. So you're going to get to hear more of me and what I sound like with the acoustic sounds, the acoustic instruments. It won't be any electronic sounds. So much of that.
Will this be your first album that you're putting out?
No, this would be my sophomore album, my second album.
The second album?
My first album was Black Moses, Victory, produced by myself, you know. Because I'm also, we were versed, you know, we studied the different avenues in the music. Because there was a time when it was so expensive to go in our studio. As I look at you, with a local budget for the album. You know what I mean? You had access to learning different things. I learned how to do the graphics. I learned to lay the tracks. I know if I want a little guitar sound, I know which little producer friend I have can give me that sound there. I have a guitarist that can give me that sound there. We just knew it was a unity thing. Okay. You understand what I say?
But what was they said the name of the album was Black Moses. What was the album all about?
Yeah.
Did the album have a theme? Tell me about it.
It was a spiritual. The album was a spiritual thing. Let me know me and my spiritual side as a young man, because spirituality was very important to me then, and it still is now. I think it's any less important.
Okay.
But then I was coming into the industry, and it was so derogative then. There was so much gun violence in the music, and, you know, pornography in the music. And I had to make my stamp to make people know, say, yo, I'm coming into the industry. I'm not that kind of artist. This is who I am. This is who I am, you know, as an individual.
What year was that? What year did you release the Black Moses?
1997. No, not 97. I said 2006, 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at 2007.
Yeah, the music had taken a turn, dancehall for a lot of derogatory stuff for real in terms of sex and gun and violence, you know. So you decided that you were going to make a difference with your music.
With my music, so Black Moses now was like saying, here I am as a young black man. This is my story. This is my book. This is what I have experienced. And this is how serious I am about my life, my people, my race, my nation. And this world of people too also. Because it's not just a fight for myself. It's a fight for the man who is on the street, who has nowhere to sleep. The man on the bridge. The man who just passed and made a dirty remark. Not knowing that he probably has a profession in his field. He was just one paycheck away from being homeless. And he made a bad choice and he's on the street.
Yeah.
So I'm here to represent all those people. Are
you in the frame of mind to give me like a cappella line or two from a song?
Oh man,
I'm
always
Black
ready.
Moses? Well,
Black Moses?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to request some more a cappella throughout the interview, but I'd love to hear you if you can, if you're in the frame of mind to give me a track, a taste, a cappella line or two, a cappella style from Black Moses. The mic is...
Heritage, me search it. Got Africa upon the first ship. You a black man and could a white at your worship. Vatican, me birth it. Put me off your hearse it. Queen Elizabeth, forget the first ship. Me say me heritage, me search it. Africa upon the first ship. You a black man and see the white God you worship. Vatican, me birth it. Put me off your hearse it. Queen Elizabeth, forget the first ship. Me did tell you no say black a me symbol. So no white God mustn't give me no signal. Significant, yes, my blackness personal. Cannot tell these others physical. Come for uplift the people musical. Come for uplift the people them spiritual. Them say them are the righteous, but them marginal. Say them are truthful, but me see them are criminal. Me say me heritage, me search it. Africa upon the first ship. You're listening to True Vibes Radio.
I tell you, and we're talking to Rasta Igel. I tell you, hey, listen, the man have a voice like velvet. I told you that before. And I tell you, the industry and the world is going to embrace you the more they get to know you. I remember that song. I remember, I think I emceed a show or I was at a studio that you were performing that song.
Yes.
But I tell you,
album release show, man.
Yes,
show at the Flamingo. I remember that spot was an Ethiopian spot.
Right, and I think I emceed that show.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of East Africans, and the atmosphere was just right.
I tell you.
I do give thanks again, Peter Mark. I've always been there for me, my brother, and I take this time out again. While the whole world is listening, Peter Mark has always been there for Igel musically. And even as a bigger brother in life itself, I tell you the truth, and I do appreciate of that. So,
well,
I'm going to pour it out tonight, man. I'm going to vibes with it tonight. I bet the world knows that True Vibes Radio is the real radio. You know what I mean?
That's right,
the angel, let me shout you this morning. And the angel, let me call you.
I tell you, it was meant to be, man.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. Rasta Igel, my special guest on True Vibes Radio. And I want to thank the world again for listening. And Rasta Igel, enough respect, man. I mean, from we met up in Atlanta, I mean, the connection is like brother. I call you my brother, and indeed you are my brother, man. So I got to support what you're doing. I believe 100 and another 100% in what you're doing. The talent, the sound, and the message is so powerful. It is necessary on today's airways. And I need you to continue doing what you're doing, my brother. I tell you. Let us move quickly into the album that you're working on now, your sophomore album. What is that about? The first one, introduce you, your spiritual side, who you are, the fact that you're serious about the music and about presenting your message, and the album. How many tracks did you have on Black Moses?
It was I think it was 14 tracks and an intro. I think it was 14 tracks, an intro and an outro.
Intro,
14
outro.
tracks with an intro, so I ended up with 15 tracks on there.
15 tracks, solid pack CD, introducing yourself, spiritual music, bigging up the Almighty, and I tell you, I really enjoyed that album. What is the second one all about?
Well, okay. I stepped away from the industry, not music, the industry, since I would say about 2011. 2012, moved back home to Jamaica because my mom, that's a whole different other story. My mom had 3 different strokes on her right side. So my mom were dependables. So when I came home in 2012, there was no way I was going to get back on a plane to Atlanta. I'm telling you, with this, like, the island full of water right now. The time I get persecuted for this. Like, people said me get deported. People said the Rasta turn what this. I've heard everything. I'm a know, I couldn't go back on the plane, the Peter. I said, my mother in a wheelchair, I know that she had 3 different strokes. Yeah, I could pay somebody to change her diapers or her dependables, but I'm her son.
Right.
I grew up in an era where there was no Pampers. I grew up in an era where they had to wash these things and nappy. And my one them never give me no diaper rash.
Right.
My one them never give me no rash from my skin, so mama had to do it clean. So I kept it clean with her.
That's right.
So that's how I ended up in Jamaica. I step away. So all that I've been through is coming on this album. All of that cry, the tears and the pain, and all of them spirit with them show at me. And the love, because I did also get love. Yeah. People also show me that, son, you're going to get your blessings for doing what you did or doing what you're still doing.
Yes.
Because I still didn't go back on a plane until now. I'm still there, Jamaica.
Right.
I'm still there, Jamaica, with my mother. My grandfather passed away. Rest in peace, Ivan Price. He taught me principle.
Right.
He taught me integrity. You cannot compromise the integrity of anything. And that's who I am. And that's what you're going to hear on this album.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in life, I like the fact that there's a balance, that though you have the negative people who, they are always going to be there, trying to dictate your business without even knowing your business. You know, I mean, trying to always talk negatives. I mean, it is a sad fact that you're always going to be having negative people, but you have a few positive who's always going to be there, lifting you up and supporting you. And I really appreciate the fact that you have good people and bad people in this world. You know, so
man.
Go ahead.
Rasta. There are some people in the marketplace when I go on market and them say, oh, I go on my son, and I say, my mother, I come shopping for and them say, hold on, you're the one out there to take care of your mother and I change all diaper and them thing and I clean our faces. I say, yes, man. And them say, more blessings to your son. I'm going to take it and hold it in my bosom and I embrace it. Yeah. Make me cry sometimes. When I was put it in my music because people will cry when they hear the album. People are going to smile, people are going to feel enthused, people are going to feel happy again, people are going to feel like there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. Because I've been there. I've been in the hospital for 17 days while I've been here, so, you know. Nothing is going to while me there after the piece. I tell you, I want part 15 of this interview. You know, to go on and on. The album, self-titled Rasta Igel. Now we are a nice little sneak preview of it.
Give us, go ahead.
I got no place to go, got no food to eat, piece of cardboard from my bed, today's newspaper my sheet, callus on my toes, bunnying on my feet, no one's around to show me love, and loneliness won't let me be. Tears rolling down my face, staring into space. You can see it in my eyes that I'm hurting deep inside. But if you only knew pain that I feel, pretty soon you'll realize you're the one to claim your prize. It'll all be over. It'll all be over. It'll all be over. And you won't have to cry no more. You're listening to True Vibes Radio. Keep it locked. Don't change that dial.
I tell you, the depth of a Rasta man, Rasta Igel, live on True Vibes Radio. Loving the depth of that song, Rasta Igel. Loving the quality of the words that I'm hearing. The music is, I mean, it's like poetry. You took the time to knit words together, describing stuff that you have been through. And I can stay in Studio 10 and feel the intensity of the music. Go ahead.
Man, I've grown so much. I've grown a lot. Trust me. There was a time where we was let go, you know, where I was hopeless. I felt like, man, forget this music. People just use you in this music. And you know what? I'm going to just sing to myself. And I sang to myself for years.
Yeah.
Not giving up on myself until just said to me, say, yo, I know you're alone in the kid for. So I was singing for people again, and them say, yo, you don't even sound like how you look. You sound like velvet. You sound crispy. You sound smooth. You sound real. I could hear pain in your voice, and I felt like, I owe it to my folks. The voice of the voiceless. That's what Igel represents. That little man in the corner who you think who ain't got nothing to say, and you had everything to say about him or her all day, all night. Nah, he got something to say now. You gonna learn. And we're gonna get over our differences, and we're gonna grow past our problems as individuals, brothers and sisters. Cause I am my brother's keeper.
That's right.
Yes, Peter.
That is right. So when can we expect this album? When do you plan to release the second album?
Like I said, we come up with the mixtape for the summer. The mixtape definitely gonna hit y'all before summer come in.
Mm-hmm.
And we recording right now. As we speak, we recording tracks for the mixtape. And we're just going to do it. We're not going to rush. We really time pedaling it based upon the experiences. We want to see the feedback from the people.
Okay.
And feed forward from the people. And see how they respond to the mixtape and see how they respond to how the sound. Then we give them the EP, a couple songs off the EP.
Okay.
Then they'll get the album. So, they'll probably be able to get the album before the year done, I'm going to be honest with you. Probably early next year they're going to get the album. But
at least a taste will be coming before summer.
Yeah, they're going to
which is not far away. Not far.
They're going to have these singles off the album. Because tell you what, I waited so long for my break. I'm not going to jump the gun.
Yes. You want to do it?
I grew with the people. I grew with the people. That's why I take it acoustic.
Okay.
I have access to all the instruments and all the musicians, but I want just me and the acoustic guitar player and my little percussionist playing some drums and, little percussion drums, a little shaker, a little timbale, all those little Afrocentric songs we used to have before all this electronics. And just penetrate Jamaica. Because we are doing all that on tour at Jamaica too, That's in the making. Okay. We're hitting all the universities, all the high school, and we are coming at the auditorium because I feel say it's just one kind of music that will penetrate in the ears. I'm coming at you with this upfulness because we need this. This is like our constitution to make ourselves better people in this day and time.
So it's the upsurgence again, the uprising, the come again, as we would say in Jamaica, of Rasta Igel, taking to the streets, taking to the schools, taking to the universities, taking to the parks, and just making a presence in Jamaica. And of course, the world is going to feel it because True Vibes Radio is going to be right there, keeping in touch so that we can know what is happening every step of the way. Really loving the vibes, Rasta Igel, I tell you. As I tell the world again, if you're just joining us, you're joining us way past halfway. You have missed out a lot, but the good thing with my interviews is that you can get them on YouTube and you can also keep on listening because they are repeated throughout the day. Rasta Igel, what of the future? You just preceded my question that I was planning to ask next by giving me a hint that you're going to be hitting the road and you're going to be touring. But let us get into some more specifics. After this album, will you be spitting out another album quickly, or will you be meditating again, or what are your plans?
After this album, we hit the road and we tour the album extensively. You know what I mean? Is it going
to be a local tour, or will you be hitting up?
No, this is our work. Listen, right now, people in Malawi crying for Igel. South Africa, people in Malawi, South Africa crying for Igel. They're crying, literally are crying for Igel. Okay. People in Kampala, Uganda crying for Igel right now. People in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, because we have always sitting ourselves amongst the African people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I market my music amongst them because I know pretty soon I'll be hitting the side of Africa. And we can't go there with any kind of music, uplifting music. So it's gonna be a world tour. We're hitting Europe, we're hitting the US also, we're hitting all of the places that we're reggae, they are ready, and all of the places that we're reggae yet to go. We will be there with the love.
I want to hear something else again. Impromptu. The mic is yours again. A cappella.
I don't want to lose my soul, and I don't want to lose control. So you can keep your vanity, and I will keep my sanity. As long as I'm alive, I'ma be alright. Them say outside well immaculate, but them inside set away. Them love God where them never see yet, and them hate Peter Mac where them see every day. Some may say, what kind of life you living? And what kind of thanks you giving? Stop one thing for a little bit and glance in a mirror for the hypocrite. I don't want to lose my soul. True vibes.
I tell you.
Yeah, new vibes.
I tell you, listen, you are going to be hearing much more from Rasta Igel right here on True Vibes. You're going to be getting to know him more because every step of the way, True Vibes will be there, finding out what is happening, inviting him back for interviews upon interviews, playing his music and just supporting a real Rasta man, a real brother, and a person with a mission and a purpose. I want you to. I like to call this your Marcus Garvey moment, your Selassie moment, what was another great person? Jesus moment. Basically, this is my philosophy, Rasta Igel. We are all unique, and Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, no man is actually greater than no man. Every man is unique, and if you don't believe it, check out your fingerprints. That is the stamp of uniqueness. That's what makes you know that you're unique. You might look like someone else, but you are unique. You are different. There's none like you, and that makes you precious. So everybody have a contribution. Everybody, it might not be the same. Everybody have different talents. But I like when I have my guests online or in the studio, I like to give them the Marcus Garvey moment, the Martin Luther King moment, the Rasta Igel moment. You have the world listening to you. You picture yourself behind the pulpit or on a high ground or a low ground or a bench in the bar or anywhere, but picture yourself sharing your heart to the world right now. I give you the mic to say something to the world from your heart, Rasta Igel. I mean, we're going to be talking online or whatever means when I'm in Jamaica, live interviews. But we're going to be keeping in touch with you. But here's a moment that I'm going to give you to address the listeners now with a word from your heart. Anything that is on your heart now that you want to wrap this interview up with, an impression that you want to leave on the listener's mind. The mic is yours, Ras.
I want to give this word to the world, and it's unconditional love for yourself, and that's where it begins. Stop beating yourself over your head for the mistakes that you told yourself that you have made in the past. Because if you do that to yourself, you will do that to your brother, and you will do that to your sister. Mm-hmm. And none of us that walk the face of this earth from the beginning of time up until this day had asked to come on this earth, but we are here. Mm-hmm. And somehow we have to survive. Yep. And we have to function, and we have to commune amongst each other. Mm-hmm. And this is one thing I noticed families don't do anymore. They don't commune anymore. Mm-hmm. They get a box of food, and each individual go to their room and they sit in front of a box called a television. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was days where if the 8th individual inside the house and it's dinner time, the 8th individual has to sit around the table. Mm-hmm. And that is where the family structure begins. Mm-hmm. And each one has to take responsibility for their actions. Not only when it's good, also when you have made a mistake.
Yep. Unconditional love.
Yes. I mean real unconditional love.
For yourself.
Literally,
for yourself. And then reach out to your fellow man around you, woman, boy, girl, animal, nature. Yeah.
You see, if you can't accept that person where you see in the mirror.
Yeah.
My mom tell you, if you can't accept that individual there in front of you, you will not be able to cope with any other life form around you.
Great words from the past. If you don't love yourself, you're unable to love somebody else. You gotta appreciate the man in the mirror.
Yes, man. I look in the mirror, and who do I see? A man trying to drown his sorrows, but his sorrows just won't let him be. So he cries, yeah, drying tears from his eyes, yeah. So he cries, drying tears from his eyes. Something's gonna be changing. Some things need rearranging. Like my troubles will be done. My mama told me, son, one day change don't come. So I cry. After stars with changes with the individual in front of you, which is you. Anytime you begin to think you're separate from any life form that is around you, you're doomed. The only reason why the dog bites at his tail is because he figures the tail is not a part of it.
The depth of a Rasta
So whatever
man. Rasta Igel, I tell you. Hey, it's always good chilling with your Ras. We're gonna be wrapping it up now. If you're just joining us, you're actually at the tail end of what I'm gonna be calling overall part one, because I might just decide to catch up with you again next week and a few weeks after, just to keep in touch with what is happening. Of course, we're going to be playing your music, Ras Igel. But before you go, I also wanted to take the opportunity to send shout-outs to anybody you want to big up, probably somebody who has been instrumental in the past, helping you along the way, musically or otherwise, or maybe somebody right now in the present who you want to big up and show some love. Go ahead.
Yes, man, first and foremost, I would like to give thanks to Mama Earth, our Father Nature.
Yes.
Give thanks to the sun that shine up above, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the elements of the earth. Hear me, I tell you, this is my brothers and my sisters, them. This is from Sismaland to Portland, where they bought land. Boat don't feel like it, Portland. Listen now. You see the people them in a St. Betsy, a farm and a feed the country. The food basket will name St. Elizabeth. We know y'all ain't got much water, but keep on planting the food, okay?
Yeah.
Now listen, my people in America, I want to tell you, at times when you put them on a gun and load the war mentality there.
Yes.
We're not trying to disarm the rest of the world of their so-called weapons. And we have some serious weapon over there too. Because the mind is a terrible thing to waste. I'm going to read between the lines because I don't want to get too political.
Yeah.
Because the views expressed by Ras Igel is not necessarily the views of True Vibes Radio. That is my disclaimer. Big up Miss Polly Price, my brother will give birth to. I big up Blacks, my bigger brother. Big up my son, David Melago, who just born last year. I'm coming to see my son. I was at kisses and all the best wishes. Yeah. My son Nigel Stafari, Azariah in Atlanta right now. Big man, big up yourself. I love you, my son, also. And for my fans, my well wishes and the naysayers, my love for the same way. Yeah, I just stop the music, man. I'm going to stop my life. Life is me and I am life. Keep growing, plug in with nature. Stop eat out of the can them. Kind of stop drink out of the plastic them too. Move closer to some fruits and some green vegetables. Yeah. And Monsanto, one of the stop feed the people them, the genetically modified organism them. GMO. No GMO for the people.
Yeah. Igel.
Yeah.
From the depth of a Rasta man. Rasta Igel, my special guest. Hey, listen, we're going to wrap it up, man. There's enough love, enough unity from my heart to yours. Listen, I encourage you to keep on keeping on. Greater things is going to be happening in your life. This is your year. Before the year is finished, a lot of people feel the ministry of Rasta Igel, I tell you. So, maximum respect. I want to thank you again for making it my place. True Vibes Radio. We're going to be playing your music and we're going to be keeping in touch with you. And we just want to shower you with positiveness enough love and respect as you take on the journey that is left and take on the responsibility that you have taken on, which is an awesome one. And I'm happy that in your heart, your thing is positive. You want to keep it positive and uplifting and not necessarily the ray, isms and schisms. You know, there's a place for everything, you know. I mean, I'm not a hard copy guy. You know, I think that there's a time for everything under the sun. So you have a time for ray and gal and jump up songs and all of that, you know what I'm saying? But then there's a time for meat. There's a time for meat and a time for depth and a time for meditation and a time to analyze, look back and look forward. You understand? The celebration and the jump up and the gimmicks is a temporary thing, but the meditation is spiritual and long lasting, and therefore I respect any artists who dedicate themselves to positiveness and uplifting the soul and the mind of people, not just with music but through levity. Maximum respect, Rasta Igel. I have nothing but respect for you, boss.
The feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. I'm never going again and come out as mutual.
But lyrical. I tell you, lyrical. Anyway, keep on trotting and we will be in touch. Definitely. Maximum respect again. Rasta Igel, my
Likewise, my brother.
As we wrap it up.
Love and love. Radio land. Give thanks to the medium, the keen listening and the wrap of attention. Best of love. Enjoy the rest of your night. Aye, Majesty, aye.
Rasta. Rasta.